through storms, unshaken, unbowed, through trials and verdicts, still standing proud, a titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast, a new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch, power to the people, time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him, he's moving on, with plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules, a new dawn's day, from the hands of the few to the people's way. Say goodbye to all chains, embrace the new, a financial revolution fair and true, for the workers, the dreamers, side by side, in Trump's new era, let freedom rise.
Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. I am Zester, and I imagine that many folks have many questions today. All of that on account of the current market actions, or, well, I should say, the past 24 to 36 hours of the cryptocurrency markets. And so, looking forward to seeing where all the questions start off at. I have a feeling that there's going to be a decent amount of worry over the recent price changes, or at least the correction that we saw this morning. And so for those that woke up this morning and checked their crypto, I have a feeling you weren't particularly happy about the price point that it was at. It's something we've been talking about for a while, but we are going to dive into some reasoning behind it. I think most folks will not be too surprised to find out why we saw cryptocurrency have such an alteration in terms of its momentum. But we will see. We'll see where the questions lead us. Tonight, guys, it will be just question and answer. I've got one or two articles that I do want to talk about, but I will be back again on the original Mark Z channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we're going to keep our crypto Q&A fairly concise, not because I don't want to hang out, but because we're going to be hanging out again extremely soon. Literally 57 minutes from now, we will be hanging out again, and we'll be talking a lot about politics, of all the craziness going on in the tariff war, and also we'll be talking about the fact that many folks will be asking a lot of questions about XRP and crypto all around. So with that, I'm going to jump into hellos, and then we're going to get right into the news, folks. What's up, Kukla? Thank you so much for being here, and welcome. Gary7, number 3 on the like button. Much appreciated. Welcome, Trisha, and thank you so much. Welcome, Tahoe. I've got to stop for at least one. Gary 7's joke of the day, or at least first joke of the stream. After I broke up with my short girlfriend, she started a YouTube channel dedicated to trashing me. I said, well, that's a little extreme. Gary, you're everybody's go-to dad joke. Everybody's go-to dad joke guy. What's up, David? Thank you so much for the apple. Well, howdy there, Mary. Hope you are doing well this evening. And all right, I will be going quick, guys. If I miss any questions as I am scrolling through, please let me know once I get to answering once I start answering questions, because I have a feeling there's going to be a few. What's up, Fruit Ninja 69? Welcome. Hot Rod Tilly. Welcome, Neil. Coming in 62 degrees in Graham, North Carolina. That's not too bad. It's not too bad for February. 62. That's kind of a spicy hot day. Welcome, Elaine. Welcome, Linda. And welcome, Crypto Warden. I like the name and I like the profile pic. Definitely. All right. Welcome, Deborah. Welcome. And yeah, musical lady, I got a feeling that the questions are going to be coming in a little bit extreme this evening. I actually was thinking about this morning. First thing I thought when I looked at the markets, I got to the computer. I had avoided work all weekend, so I hadn't been looking at email, hadn't been looking at anything. I got to the computer and I went, oh man, I know exactly what the stream is going to be like this evening. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But this is the original Mark Z. God bless America. And it seemed like a great day for it because we do have so much going on that's awesome for the country. But a lot of that's going to be what we talk about actually in the next stream. Robin, hi, Zester. Fun ride we were having in the crypto world. I'm trying to stay calm. Yes, exactly. That's what makes this difficult. There's so much going on. For those that have just gotten their first look at crypto for the day, congratulations. It's much better that you did not look at it this morning because this morning, needless to say, things were not looking that great. But let's go ahead and jump into just a little bit of that conversation. And so what Robin here is talking about is what everything looks pretty good right now. We're seeing XRP at 272, Bitcoin over 100,000, Ethereum 2879. But just not that long ago this morning, XRP this morning hit $2.01. To put that into perspective, on a 7-day chart, it doesn't look pretty. On a 1-month chart, it looks real not pretty. On a 3-month chart, not quite as bad, but right there at the 1 month, you can see XRP has not hit $2 since, well, it was sometime in December. Yeah. I mean, we had not dropped below $2 since actually November. We have not dropped below $2 since November, except for a microcosm of a second in December. And so this is a multi-month low for XRP, and the entire market felt it. Bitcoin had the same exact thing go on. When we stretch out that chart, we'll see Bitcoin down here at, I think it hit 91 at one point, but 92,000 or so, a massive drop. We saw 20 to 25% drops in prices on just about every cryptocurrency overnight. Most of it seems to have started somewhere around yesterday evening. And since then, we have seen a massive recovery occur. And this is across all the cryptos. This is, everybody got back on the same page. Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin, everybody's chart is identical with only slight differences in terms of the recovery. But otherwise, it's pretty much an identical chart across the board. Not overly surprising, in my opinion, but I know for many folks out there, it was, well, not a happy beginning to the day. I'm going to go through, say a few more hellos, answer a few questions along the way, and we're going to get to talking about the why. Unfortunately, the why is not really going to present anyone with a better answer. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the whys. No. Deborah Musewell, can everyone say buy the dip? Buy the dip is the go-to in the crypto world for when prices are going down. it's the way of everyone saying, hey, if you want the prices to start going up, start buying. And that is how it genuinely works, but it's kind of turned into a bit of just a bit of a go-to saying, I suppose, at this point. What's up, Bear? How are you doing, man? And Musical Lady, yeah, and it was that buy the dip, the sale. It was an excellent opportunity. You could have easily bought XRP for essentially 30% off, 25% off just earlier today. But of course, trying to pick the right time to purchase a market when it's crashing is not an easy thing to do. It's far more based off of luck than it is based off of reason, unless you are particularly proficient. Anthony Liu, welcome, welcome. Kukla, great thing to include. I should definitely start jumping to this one quicker. The content in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes and is not intended to provide financial advice. Please consult with a financial advisor or professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, Kukla, for ensuring I get that one. What's up, Samuel Worley? Oh my God, it's Zester. Sam, I appreciate the excitement. I need that more in my life. I appreciate that. What's up, Farmer Deb? What's up, Speed Racer? Crypto Warden, when I zoom my XRP graph out to 1 year, it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, that's always the best way of looking at those things. You know, zoom far enough out and everything doesn't look too awful. And except, let's bring back up the XRP chart over here. Until you go to max. So you go to max, and then you're just not even certain what to look at. But yeah, on the 1 year, it's nothing more than a speed bump on the 1 year. Really nothing to worry about. When you click the max, everything goes crazy. When you click the 3 month, not that much. When you click the 1 month, that 1 month chart is what's scaring the hell out of folks right now, is that 1 month chart. But it is all a matter of perspective. And I think that's a great point to bring up, Crypto Warden, is that it's all a matter of perspective. Ultimately, the prices change. Eagle Mark, anyone with a discount code on the Ledger main website? Actually, I have got a discount code in the description that will save you a bunch of money and support the channel at the same time. And so please do use that one, Eagle Mark. It is down there. I'll even go and try to verify that it's down there real quick. Yes, inside of the link tree. So if you click on my link tree, you will then see a link for it. And so right there, you'll see Ledger hardware wallets down here at the bottom, Eagle Mark. That will get you a discount on that one. And that's directly connected to discounts through the main Ledger webpage. Get up to $20 worth of free Bitcoin for the purchase. So hopefully that one helps, Eagle Mark. It saves you money, and so that to me is just always a win. Can't go wrong saving money. Not until we get our financial system back on the right track, then maybe we won't be as worried. Mile High Trish, the current ledger code does seem to be good to go. It is saying that it is good to go. And so that one should work for now. Well, Robin Parker, when dinar or any other currency RVs, the things that the community that love it are into are going to undoubtedly skyrocket. Robin, if 100,000 XRP holders suddenly got a massive infusion of liquid cash, they're undoubtedly going to spend a good portion of it buying XRP or buying whatever they're into. I mean, just right there, the price is going to start going up just based off of the folks buying in. Gary said, Zester, are the tariffs affecting crypto? Just curious. This is actually really interesting, Gary, because the tariffs were extremely good for cryptocurrency. Very good. Logically speaking, tariffs placed by the United States on foreign nations would only incentivize the adoption of cryptocurrency because those tariffs are based off of the natural goods being produced in the nation, which are highly, highly correlated with the value of their national currency. And so, in that way, the tariffs were very, very positive for crypto. And the weird thing that seems to have happened is that the second that Mexico actually ended up coming up and saying, never mind, we're sending 10,000 troops to the border, whatever Trump wants, we're going to do it. Please don't put that tariff on us. When they did that, the price of crypto started to plummet. And I don't think that the tariffs, in all honesty, are really the reason. I think all of this comes back to the fact that the market is inflated. It needs a correction. And so, in the same way last week, I was saying, hey, I really think that the market needs a correction. I don't know when it's going to occur, but I think it's going to be soon. There's the correction. The prices have to come down. Prices cannot continually go up. Otherwise, you never establish an actual floor price. You never establish value. We need to trade sideways, or we most likely need to trade downward. And the reason being is that we've got people with leveraged positions. And so something that occurred with this little correction, whatever you may want to call it, when we come over here and we look at the actual logic on it, crypto market liquidations likely reached $10 billion. And that means people flat out lost a buttload of money. And the reason they lost that money, Gary, is because they utilized leverage. They had leveraged positions that were long on Bitcoin. They said, hey, I'm willing to take a gamble and say that the price of Bitcoin is going to keep going up. And I don't have the money to cover that bet. And so here's $1,000. Would you please give me $100,000 of Bitcoin? And that works out great if the price of Bitcoin keeps going up. It does not work out well if the price of Bitcoin drops by 1%, because then your position is liquidated. It's a gambling game. And the gambling is the reason that we saw such a precipitous fall in the crypto markets. It's the leverage. It's always the leverage. It's the unspoken boogeyman of every market. And this includes the stock market. Keep in mind, your banks utilize quantitative easing. Your investment groups utilize fraudulent, scammy, different ways of doing their business, whether it's insider trading, whether it's leveraged positions, where they don't really have the money to back up their bet. Essentially, there are a buttload of people walking into casinos and putting chips on the table that they cannot back up. And that's what's happening. That's what happens in the stock market. That's what happens with banks. That's what happens with crypto. Folks show up and they bet money they don't have. And I don't mean your average everyday folks. I tend to mean either gamblers or investment companies. It's corporations that do this most often. The most of the time, It is. It's the hedge fund types that take positions of this nature because remember, they know better than just about everybody. And yes, when it works out right for them, they make a ton of money extremely quickly. Because if I do take that leverage position of $1,000 of Bitcoin, and I only have $1,000 of Bitcoin, but I say, hey, at $92,000, like earlier today, Bitcoin was at 92 grand. If I then said, hey, I want to take that leveraged position, I want to say I have $1,000 and I would like to buy an option at 92,000 along at 92,000. And I would like to utilize 100x leverage. So I buy over one Bitcoin at 92 grand, but I only have $1,000 to back it up. The price of Bitcoin continues to go up. That person would have made about $13,000 today in a matter of 8 hours. They would have made about $13,000 off of their $1,000 investment. That is flat out gambling. And that's a large reason that we see the volatility. It's right here. $10 billion of the crypto market that got sold today. And they say liquidations, but really what they mean is $10 billion of not real money. The money doesn't exist. It's not real. Got sold. And it got sold because the prices were going down and the positions that folks had taken were going into the negatives. I know at some point we need to go through and we need to do probably a full breakdown on what that means in its entirety. We need to get into more of that. Neil Brooks. Oh gosh, Neil. This is definitely entering into that category of I'm not a legal advisor, but I'll do my best. Neil Brooks says, Esther, I put my business in an LLC so that I can draw Social Security. I've been earning a crypto income. Is there a need for a LLC? Neil, that one is a great question. Keep in mind that a corporation will reduce, in all honesty, most of your tax burden on it. Not all of it, not even close when it comes to capital gains right now. And so this question is going to be coming down far more to your general personal finances. If you have losses, expenses, and things of that nature that are coming out from your side, maybe it would make more sense to keep it personal. But I would recommend, Neil, going the LLC route and treating from a company just because of the added features that it gets you. It gets you a lot more access to different applications. But Neil, that would definitely be an accountant question because it's not a matter of the legal side. It's a matter of the tax side. And so I would definitely recommend talking to an accountant on that one. You don't need an LLC, but I don't want to lead you down the wrong road. You might save more money from a tax perspective by having an LLC, and then continuing to pump money into it. That may make more sense. But Neil, that one's definitely on the accounting side too much for me to be positive. Oh, it did, Savvy. It did. It definitely tanked. It definitely did. All right. Continuing through, looking for more questions. Oh, yeah, it was one heck of a sell-off there, Kukla. It was free falling. That is definitely true. Definitely true. It was an extreme free fall. Well, Eagle Mark, since Bitcoin is not an ISO, well, Eagle Mark, I would just kind of point towards Trump himself. Look at Trump's companies. They're buying Bitcoin, they're buying Ethereum. I am not a big follower of the ISO compliance because I have developed cryptocurrencies. And so, for those out there that are very worried about the ISO compliance, it's not a real thing yet. When it is a real thing for cryptocurrencies and there actually is a compliance standard, it is not hard. It's very easy. So, the vast majority of cryptos that are not technically ISO compliant, they could easily be. It wouldn't take a week. It wouldn't take a week for most cryptos to meet the same qualifications. The difference is, Eagle Mark, is that certain cryptos have viewed it as being important, and other cryptos have not. And so certain cryptos have said, it doesn't matter. We'll do it when we need to do it. Others have kind of taken that step ahead of time, which I do support. And I do think that that heads up, that leg up, is going to be beneficial. But it's not hard to accomplish. And so in that way, I am not worried on that compliance standard at all. I've never even thought about it. To be completely honest, guys, ISO it's never been a thing that I'm worried about. Not once, not ever. I've never looked at that for a single crypto I've ever bought. I've looked at, is it a legitimate business? Are they going to make money? Do they serve a purpose? And is the team acting in a responsible way? Because I do want that. And so I do think that in the future, we're going to see far more of an importance placed on ISO. But right now, it's just not hard to adopt. It's just not hard. And so I think in the future, Eagle Mark, that we are going to see far more of a focus on it. But I don't think that it's really a worry for any of the cryptos that aren't. It would not be hard. The standards are not that hard to accomplish. And so I'm waiting to see how that one hammers out. Musical Lady, QQ. Zester, did you see Trump's executive order, American Sovereign Wealth Fund? Trump talked monetizing liquid assets, includes crypto and precious metals. Would this mean we could see wealth in our own crypto wallet? Musical Lady, that's actually something that I am planning on talking about very, very soon. It is extremely exciting. I think, and I would personally say, I think that was the executive order that we were waiting for. I think that is the answer. I think that's the one that's going to start pushing us towards a more fair world when it comes to the financial system. But also, we have got to have that conversation in Congress. Ultimately, we need the House of Representatives and the Senate to actually support the plan. We need that. We desperately need it. And so in that way, I think Trump is already essentially saying, hey, this is going to happen. And he's laying the framework about how it's going to occur. But we still have more pieces that need to be fit in. Unless we go a very asymmetric way in actually acquiring the funds. And there are other options, but it would be an entire multi-hour stream digging into the other options of ways that a president could technically make these purchases and could technically make these changes. And a lot of it would include, kind of playing with the way that the laws are written, which I do not personally support. I strongly believe, Musical Lady, that we have the framework now from Trump and that it has been laid out. And then now we are going to have to look towards Congress, or at least we should look towards Congress to fill in the blanks. Oh, yes, it is. The market massively corrected. For everybody that was freaking out this morning, oh my gosh, it was a blip in the road in comparison. I had panic messages showing up all over the place this morning. And I told everyone to just go ahead and sleep in and, have a relaxed day. I wasn't worried about it. I think some folks took that one to heart and some folks didn't. Vicky Royale Tranche. Zester, why are banks, various tried not allowing purchases of crypto? They won't let the charges go through. Vicky, this all goes back to actually it was an order that was put out by the Biden administration. Operation Choke Point 2.0 is the name that it goes by. You can look this up. Operation Choke Point 2.0. And what the banks did is they were instructed by the United States federal government to essentially do exactly that. Deny the purchases, deny the transactions. And the reason being is they wanted to choke the American people from being able to move from US dollars to cryptocurrency. That is what they wanted to stop. And they then informed the banks that they were not allowed to tell anyone. This is now public knowledge as of a couple months ago, but it's not regularly covered in mainstream media, and many folks are not aware of the fact that Operation Choke Point 2.0 was ongoing throughout the Biden administration. It was a direct order from the president telling banks to not allow these transactions, and it was not based off of any constitutional grounds. Now, this order technically went out during the Obama administration. Technically, Operation Choke Point 2.0 has been ongoing since 2014. And so it opens up a huge, huge argument and debate over lawsuits, civil liberties, the First Amendment. Because remember, what you choose to spend your money on is a matter of freedom of speech. And they took that away from you. And so, Vicky, just about every bank is going to make this difficult. It should be changing like now. It should be changing right now. You should have far less trouble going through and making purchases from your bank account into crypto. But this is an ongoing issue that has been 100% designed by the globalists, the powers that be. Musical A, the tariffs could be leading into a larger market correction. It's very, very possible. Very, very possible. Folks do need to keep in mind with the tariffs, and do not get me wrong. I am a huge, huge supporter of the tariffs. I strongly believe that we should be continuing to keep these tariffs, and that nothing Mexico, Canada, China, or the European Union could ever tell me would convince me that we should not have these tariffs, because we have been subsidizing their governments for decades. They owe us that money. It's time to make them pay. And so in my way, and in my own unique way, I would say I support the tariffs. Common sense and logic dictates, and the history of tariffs, which we can go back into, would say that we're going to suffer in certain ways economically on the short term on account of these tariffs. We are, because we moved over our manufacturing and production to other countries. And so when we place a 25% tariff on all goods from Canada. And that means Canada makes a spoon. Guess what? The United States, we don't make crap anymore. We don't make anything. We make literally nothing. None of the manufactured products that we use on a daily basis are made in the United States. And I'm exaggerating with none, but essentially it's over 90% of everything you use every day is not made in the United States. And that means there are going to be repercussions to forcing manufacturers to come back to the United States. I cannot move a Tupperware factory from China to the United States overnight. If currently you're buying your Tupperware from Walmart or anywhere, it's coming from China, it's coming from Mexico, it's coming from Vietnam. It's coming from somewhere where labor is cheap and they've taken advantage of our markets. That's where it's coming from. That 25% increase in their price of business is going to result in companies trying to move manufacturing back to the United States. That cannot occur overnight. It cannot just happen. I cannot move the factory and suddenly hire 100 Americans to work in it. It's going to take time. We are going to suffer. But it is a matter of the future. It is a necessary degree of pain. We have got to be okay with it. And I don't mean that we have to be happy about it, because it's not going to be pleasant. But it is a matter of your family's future. It is your granddaughters. It is your grandsons. It is your sons. It is your daughters. It is your nieces. It is your nephews. It is you also in just a couple of years, 4 or 5 years. It is for you too that these changes will have resulted in what we're looking for. But ultimately, the biggest thing we can say, in all honesty, is that we have got to suffer to a degree so that future generations don't. It is about making a better future. And that's what it all comes down to. Ultimately, we've got to do this. And it's not going to be fun. And we're not going to enjoy it. But it's got to happen. It absolutely does. And so, with all of that said, guys, I'm going to go into the same conversation talking more explicitly about the tariffs and the executive orders and what's going on internationally in just a matter of, 21 minutes and 52 seconds. And so, please do join me over on the original Mark Z, YouTube or Rumble. I will be jumping over there, and we're going to be talking about, crypto and also currencies and the global markets. And so, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. And Farmer Deb, I do want to include one last thing. And because Farmer Deb says it will hurt those on Social Security the most, and that includes myself. I don't think that folks need to be worried about that. And the reason is, and we'll talk about this more over on the original Mark Z channel, but the reason is because of drill, baby, drill. Because a large portion of the cost of your goods and your pharmaceuticals, Farmer Deb, are not because we're not making them in America. It's because we're not producing energy in America. Remember, your pharmaceutical products, your food, the things you need when you're on a fixed income, that a vast portion of the price is coming down to transportation and it's coming down to petroleum. In that way, we are going to see a massive reduction coming from the opposite side. Remember, we are going to start exporting energy like we did during the first administration. We are going to see gas prices plummet. We are going to see the price of plastics plummet. anything that is made with petroleum products is going to plummet in price. And in that way, I think we are going to be able to kind of weigh and balance the general prices. And so, Farmer Deb, I feel very confident that those in the United States that are looking at it that way are going to be okay. I just think we're not going to see the real overarching benefits until we look a little bit more down the road. But all right, guys, love you all. I will see you again in now 19 minutes. And so, peace, guys. I'm going to go hit the bathroom. I'll be right back, and we'll be chatting over on the original Mark Z on YouTube and Rumble or Twitch. Awesome. Peace, guys.